shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot.
Zagadat.
Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. A big round of applause.
Woke up looking for the broccoli. Hot key, keep a horn on the back of my seat. Hot key, ownership, the blueprint is by me. Mr. Get Off, I get off at my feet.
What's the password?
The king, the genius, and professor. École.
Get serious. Look at them go, look at them go, look at them go. Hey. Don't say that like Denise can dance.
Excited today. You know what? I've really seen these children grow. I came in 2023, right about the same time these children came. So it's so heartwarming to see them grow this much. What a beautiful performance from our grade 12 Red. I'm getting emotional. Anyway, I would like to now invite a very important parent in our group. He's been with us from the time our 12th graders were in grade 10. So we've been with him through thick and thin, if I may say. A dear parent to us, and I would like to warmly welcome Mr. Musa Zulu to give us a word of encouragement. A round of applause for Mr. Zulu.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, teachers, and good afternoon, the management, and most importantly, good afternoon to our future leaders. I promise not to keep you here too long. I promised that I'm going to stay here just about 10 minutes, and I just want to share with the kids today, and I'd like to give to say thank you to the management to give me this opportunity to have a word with the children today. I'd like you to repeat these words after me. It's not over until I win. It's not over. If you can repeat 3 times, please. If it's not over until I win.
It's not over until I win.
Again.
It's not over until I win.
Again.
It's not over until I win.
Right. Today, we'd like to celebrate you. If this is your day, we like to celebrate you and celebrate the work, the hard work that you've put into to be here where you are. It has not been easy, that I know. You've stayed sleepless nights. You've had stayed without bathing, and of course, the worst thing is having your gadgets confiscated, and you staying without your gadgets for the whole term. I have seen how some of you sulk, and how you've been sulking, and how you were sulking during those periods where you would stay without your phones the whole entire term. But what I want to say to you is that all that paid off today. You're here today because of endurance. You're here today because you had to face the process, and the process was not easy. But the fact that you are here and you've made it, you are here because you've managed, and you're here because you've had to find your own song to sing. There's a Bemba proverb that I like. I have my tribal cousins here. They always make fun of me each time I pronounce this proverb, but nevertheless, I'll go ahead. It says, "Imiti ikula empanga," meaning that you are the future trees of the forest. And you, as the future trees, what kind of forests are you going to build for yourselves? Some of you, I know, will be entrepreneurs. Some of you will be doctors, teachers, artists, engineers, and also perhaps maybe politicians, but the good ones. And no matter what the path, I want you to know that success is not measured by the amount of followers you have, but by the impact that you leave in the followers' lives, the impact that you have. It's not the followers you have on Instagram. Even when any person can be a follower. Nowadays you have different kind of characters of people on Instagram and social media that have followers, and anyone can follow anyone. But what is the impact? What is it that you leave in those people's lives? Today is about you. I want you to remember that please stay humble, continue to dream big, continue to be focused in life. Don't forget what you have learned. The foundation that you've learned from this institution is a very firm foundation, and it's going to take you very far in life. You will go and you reach, well, not even the sky will be the limit, but you will go and you go further. I want you to know that the world may be cruel to you as you face the future, but stay in your lane. Focus and don't leave. Don't actually lose focus of what you're doing. So stay focused, stay in your lane, and you will flourish. Class of 2025, this is your moment. I want you to celebrate yourselves. Remember to carry the values that you've learned from home, and also may this journey be as bright as your smiles. Congratulations to you all. Congratulations.
At this point, I wish to invite the head teacher, the leader of this institution, Ashford Academy, Mr. Noah Masona. A big round of applause for the head of school.
The guest of honor, Ms. Ruth Moto, the managing director, Rhodes Park Schools Group, Mr. Chesha Polotier, the general manager, Mr. 𝐂𝐚𝐬𝐿𝐿, the chief academic officer, distinguished guests, parents, guardians, my dear colleagues, the teachers, and all present. And above all, our graduating class of 2025. It gives me immense joy to welcome you all to this very special occasion, the 2025 Grade 12 Graduation Luncheon. This is a historic day for Ashford Academy. I'm sure you heard from the MCs. As it is the first time that we are holding such a luncheon at Ashford Academy here on our grounds, at the base of our lovely Makaka Hill. I'm sure most of you didn't know that our lovely hill there is called Makaka Hill. Of course, there's a history to why it is actually called that. Probably ask your children whether they have learned that and they now know why it is called Makaka Hill. To our graduates, I say congratulations. You are a special class indeed. We remember the first time you walked into our gates in grade 10, very eager, filled with curiosity, a lot of energy, and perhaps some uncertainty on what you are going to achieve as you step on our grounds here. Today, we see young men and women who are confident, determined, and ready to face the next chapter of their lives. We will cherish the many memories and conversations we have had throughout your time here at Ashford Academy. The strong conversations, the hard talks, and the continuous motivation for you to continue working hard. As you, keep on staring at the screen there, running through the memories that you've created around Ashford Academy. I hope you're going to keep those memories with you, the friendships that you've created here. I know we have created a very good bond with your parents as well throughout your academic journey at Ashford Academy. Class of 2025, today we acknowledge your resilience, your growth, and the spirit of togetherness that has defined your time around Ashford Academy. Your presence here is a testament of your hard work and determination to continue pushing forward until you graduate. To our parents and guardians, thank you for trusting us with your children. Your sacrifices through the many programs that we had for your children, your encouragement that you gave your children as well as the members of staff throughout as we kept on educating your children, and most importantly, the partnership that we built to grow your children to where they are today. Thank you very much for all the support you have given us. To our teachers and staff, thank you for the hard work and dedication You have guided, inspired, and mentored this class with patience and passion. And to you, our graduates, carry forward the lessons you have learned here, both inside and outside the classroom. The world you heard from Mr. Zulu, the world that you are entering now, you are about to leave Ashford Academy with lots of mentoring, guidance, and close monitoring. But you are about to leave that kind of an environment, and I hope the values that you have learned here will be carried out there for you to survive in the outside world. You will require to have the courage to face the outside world and the many obstacles that you're going to face outside there. You will require a lot of discipline. We heard again from our dear parents, the encouragement and what you've observed so far from yourselves, the hard work that you've been putting in, the discipline to, we heard they are not even bathing, they're just focused on their studies so that they can just complete their education very well. Which is commendable. Keep pushing and having the discipline to continue working hard. The integrity. The joke about the politicians, I hope we have to be the good politicians and just continue soldiering on to do the right thing in the world. Believe in yourselves, remain teachable, and true to your values. For us, this is not a farewell. We are just saying we wish you all the best as you begin your new journey out there beyond Ashford Academy. We wish you all the best in the upcoming exams. Yes, we're yet to have our exams. We wanted to come give you our last words of encouragement. As you look forward to the exams, the Cambridge class should be starting the exams in a week's time or so. And for the ones who will be sitting for the ECZ exams, you still have about a month of constant coaching with your teachers. And we wish you all the best in these exams. Ladies and gentlemen, I have had lots of time to spend talking to them throughout our journey here, the past 3 years that we've spent together. Today is just my last words of encouragement for them, but would love to hear from the people, yourselves, that have come in to give us more words of encouragement. It is now my honor to invite the managing director to give his encouraging marks to our learners and parents. MD.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Head Teacher Mr. Masona. As I look across this room, I'm filled with so much pride as to what I see. Just a few years ago, this place didn't exist as it was. A little bit of background. My family has been running schools since 1973. When my parents first bought Rhodes Park School, I was a little one that was there. And then there was no primary then, so I had to go to another school. And we started primary in 1980, moved to the big school in the mid-80s. And since 1993, when my parents had passed on, I've been building and growing what is now called the Rhodes Park Schools Group. We started our second school, Woodford, in 2013. And then we had an opportunity to come here at the end of COVID. And it was quite an interesting time, even financially, because COVID had really devastated us as schools at the time. But we had a vision for creating a boarding school. And we wanted to be able to take the same Rhodes Park School group ethos and values, traditions, and capacity and bring it outside of Lusaka. And this place was perfect for us. And we're always very grateful to our landlord here for giving us the opportunity to grow. Then when we started the school, we had to figure out how was it going to work and who was going to lead it. So at the time, we had a young man who had come recently from Pelembe, and he was our deputy head secondary at Rhodes Park, and we asked him to come here. And at first he was quite anxious about coming here, but over time he then came and he set up what is now the school. And after that, we started now bringing in the staff, and then waited and waited for people to come. And in January of 22, we had our first classes, and we've been going ever since. For us to have our own graduation ceremony here at Ashford Academy on our grounds is a very proud moment. What I wanted to do was just basically give a couple of words of thanks. The first thanks go to the staff, the team, the people that teach our children, the people that look after them in the hostels, people like Mr. Munyanyembe, of course, the assistant hostel parents for the boys, the people that feed them, the people that make sure that they've got something to eat. Chef, nice to see you. The people that also do the laundry, people that do the cleaning of their facilities, the ones that drive them to and from OIDC, all the places that they need to be. In a few days' time, the Cambridge ones, I think, are going to be doing the exams, I think, from Rhodes Park. So they need to be driven back and forth. I've also got to thank the learners who have actually created their own culture and systems and traditions here at Ashford Academy. They came, especially those who came in grade 10 back in 23, 22. It was something small, and they've really made this place their own, and they've created the bonds and friendships that they will carry on for the rest of their lives. I still have very close friends that I was with at boarding school, so I'm 100% supporter of the boarding experience. But also, most of all, I need to thank the parents that have placed their trust in us as the RPS group trading as Ashford Academy. So when most of you came, it was a vision, a time. Tabitha, it was just something. But over the years, you've seen how we've been able to put a lot of your school fees into practice, I hope. We've been putting in a lot of effort in order to give what we always like to do here at the Rhodes Park Schools Group, which is trying to give as much value for money as possible. There were times when there was that issue of what are the boarding fees? You remember? And it wasn't fun for us either, because after we had set a specific fee, we realized it just was not affordable. It was just not cost effective. So we had to be brave enough to say, no, we need to go back to the parents and say, actually, this is going to cost X amount. You have been, as parents, coming for the parent-teacher conferences. You've been coming to engage with the staff. You've been entrusting us with your children for most of the time. As you know, most of the year, the child is actually at home. Which brings me to my next word for the parents themselves, is that now that they are finishing school over the next 2-3 months, things are going to change for you as they come home, and there'll be no atiaenda in a few weeks' time. My children are also at boarding school, and we got used as parents, my wife and I, to being alone at home. And sometimes when the kids come, we ask ourselves, when are they going back? So in this case now, they will be home, and there will be that level of anxiety waiting for the exam results. And then there'll be that period when the results come out, when we're now forming where are we going and what's our next step and what's going to happen. And that is something that the school will always be here to be able to engage with you. I know some of you are still parents, so you're still with us. We're not finishing just because Chapwa. And our relationships with parents always goes on for as long as possible. I want to now, after all this thanks, introduce the lady who's blessed us by being our guest of honor. I didn't know much about her. And then she reminded me today when we sat down that we actually had met some years ago. She's a lady who's made some very brave steps in her life, and I'm sure the learners and the rest of us will be able to benefit from her words of wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor, Ms. Ruth Moto.
Indeed, a round of applause for Miss Ruth Moto.
Good afternoon. Perfect. It's always hard standing in front of people because you're wondering if what you're going to say is going to have impact. I usually get requests to speak, but most of the times it's to entrepreneurs or business people. And then when I got a call from Mr. Masona, and he said it's grade 12s, I was trying to wonder, like, am I cool enough? Do I still remember how it feels like? Do I know what I'm going to talk about? But then I realized that I also was a grade 12 at some point. But also, I come from, my mother was a teacher, and I lived in a teacher's compound. So I know both the teacher community and also the student community. And I figured I just want to share a few things to the grade 12, based on my secondary school experience, but also based on my adult experience. So the first story is, I'm calling it the prefect badge. In grade 11, I don't know how it is here at Ashford. In grade 11, I used to be at St. Mary's Secondary School. So you get selected to be a sub-prefect in grade 11. And then in grade 12 first term, that's when they're going to announce if you're going to be a prefect or not. So now I was a teacher's child, and I was chosen as a sub-prefect, which went very well because I really wanted it, and it's the first time that you are learning this leadership thing, and then you can assert your authority and everything. And then when the confirmation comes, you change uniforms, and it's a whole thing. So what used to happen is that they would announce the prefects during assembly. So assembly comes, and then they're calling out the names. They'll never say the people who are not going to be prefects. So if your name is not called, then you know. So I'm standing there and I'm watching my friends go to the podium, and then my name is not called. I think we were 2. So now you're standing there in assembly, and then you're thinking the ground has to swallow me because this is what failure looks like. Good thing about this is that I lived in a teacher's compound. So after assembly, I ran straight to my house and I went to cry. My mother already knew that they were not going to call my name, so she was home. I cried and I cried and I cried. And then my mother said, okay, now you dry your tears and you have to go back to class. What used to happen is that we used to wear different uniforms. So St. Mary's had beige and blue. So as a sub-prefect, you'd wear the beige uniform and your friends are wearing the blue uniform. So now you're going back, still wearing the uniform because you can't change. And then you have to sit in your failure, where everyone else knows that you're not a prefect, and you have to last the entire day. And basically, that taught me that things just don't always work out for you, but you have to sit in it. And this I've experienced even as I've been running my business, because rejection will always come. And the question that you have to ask yourself is, what am I going to do with this? Am I going to sit and cry in the fact that I have failed or things haven't worked out for me? Or am I going to pick myself up and try again? And that is the reality of what happens even after grade 12. It will look like you haven't been chosen for the university that you really want to, and your other friends have gone. Are you then going to give up on your dream to become what it is that you want to be? It may also look like your friends start doing things where they get jobs and you don't, or they decide that they're going to travel to a different country and you don't. What does that look like for you? And these decisions, you have to start making them now by deciding that no matter what happens, I'm still going to persist until I succeed. The second story is mostly around my business. I'll give a little brief. So I used to be at the University of Zambia. I studied library and information studies and psychology. And after graduation, what happens is that we're all looking for good jobs because our parents say you go to school, you finish, you go to university, and you get a great job. So I got a job in the government as health information officer at Roan Hospital. 3 years down the line, my husband moved towns, and I made the decision that I was going to leave my job. Now, what happened with this is that you just don't walk up to your parents and tell them that this pensionable job that I have, I'm going to leave it. And worse off, I'm going to leave it for a man. In a sense. So now, I didn't tell my relatives that I was leaving my job. But the one thing that I knew, which is something that you have to start learning now, as you're transitioning from your teens into your 20s and into your adulthood, is that you have to have a solid belief in yourself. One thing that I knew for myself was that I know I can work hard and I can make things happen. A lot of times you'll be faced with this idea that you know what you are doing and you don't. But if you have the strong conviction that you have responsibilities as a person, especially as a married person when you get there, you have children. So it means that you just can't make decisions anyhow. You have to make a solid plan. This plan for me meant that I had to go down before I could start coming up. When I left my job, at some point I started selling anything that I could because I had 2 toddlers. And you know, when you're moving from, parents, you relate with me, when you're moving from a household that has 2 incomes, and now you're one household, and then you're moving from Copperbelt, where the livelihood is much cheaper, if I can use that word, to Lusaka, where it's much more expensive. When you decide to leave a job, you are making a very crucial decision. And I had to live in that decision. What started to happen is that I was selling small items, and I would call my friends and I would walk into their offices and find them, they're nicely dressed, they're wearing suits and everything. And this day, this girl looked at me and she said, "Ruth, you have a degree and you left your government job so that you can sell little chitenge bags." And in that moment, I was looking, because this girl had been promoted and now she has a bigger job. And I'm trying to ask myself, did I make the right decision? Life will bring you to that point where you question yourself. But if you anchor yourself and you know that you have a direction of where you're going, the world is not going to sway you. Eventually, my business did become something. I now hire 20 plus people. We make millions every year. But that is something that came from my own conviction in knowing that I know what I'm doing, no matter what the world said about me leaving my job. This is a conviction that you need to have for yourself. But also another thing that you need to have is to have an anchor. For me, if you ever, some parents, you might be business people, so you know it's not an easy walk in the park. You have rentals, you have 20 people you are taking care of, you have clients, you have a lot of things that you are dealing with. And if you are not anchored on something, you become the person who is selling tomatoes today, chickens tomorrow, and goats the next day, because you haven't anchored in what it is. You will never find your rewards there and then. Most rewards come in after you put in the toil. You work and you work and you work. One of the parents had mentioned the world of Instagram. In this generation, we live in a world of instant gratification. You think that things need to happen and they need to happen tomorrow. Unfortunately, society doesn't necessarily work like that. But when you have an anchor, it means that you have integrity and you have values that you know are going to ground you to get to the place that you want to get to. So today I'm not going to say much. I hope I haven't said much, because you listen to people who say with my few words, Nishu said a lot of things. But I just want to encourage you to be audacious. My husband has this little phrase that he likes to say from a poem, and he says, life is a just employer. It gives you exactly what it is that you ask for. So if you ask for big things, like one of my big things is that I want to own an island, eventually it will come to be. But if you also say, me, I'm okay here where I am, life is going to give you your okay where you are. You know, there are people when you greet them, you know, like literally what you are saying is what life is going to give you. So today on your graduation, I'm wishing you to have the most audacious dreams. Go out there and demand of life, because it will come to you and it will give you exactly what it is that you ask for. At this point, I just want to say thank you to the head teacher. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak into the lives of these young ones, because I know I have lived on words of other people and they have helped me grow to be who I am today and what I'll be tomorrow. And I hope my words will encourage you to be more audacious in your life. Thank you so much.
Indeed, thank you so much, Madam Ruth Moto, for that heartwarming speech. I hope our dear students will take time to reflect on that beautiful speech. Thank you again for taking time off your busy schedule to be with us. It is indeed a great honor. I know Lusaka is very busy, so I appreciate it, Madam. Thank you so much. I'm from Mufulira, so I'm sure you know how not so busy that place is. So thank you so much.
As they make their entrance to the stage, a big round of applause, class of 2025. Energy, energy, energy. Thank you so much, girls.
They look beautiful.
There they go. We can cheer them on. They are not just academicians, they can also break a leg. Thank you so much, girls. I think they deserve another round of applause. Please, a big round of applause for the girls of class of 2025. At this point, we are going to hear from the voice of the graduating students themselves, representative from the grade 12 rate class. Please join me in welcoming 𝐊𝐢𝐥𝐞𝐬𝐭 as she comes up front to make a speech. 𝐊𝐢𝐥𝐞𝐬𝐭.
Good afternoon to the guests of honor, respected guests, proud family members, and my fellow graduates. On behalf of the graduates today, I want to begin by saying thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here to celebrate this special moment with us. When I first sat down to write this speech, I had so many thoughts running through my head. I realized that I could talk for hours and hours about my experiences at Ashford Academy, the friendships, the lessons, the struggles, and the victories. I even began taking notes about all the things I wanted to share. But then I remembered the story of a philosopher named Socrates. Now you see, Socrates was not an ordinary type of philosopher. He was a brilliant philosopher and he had a great sense of humor. But unfortunately, his speeches were so long that his friends decided to ambush him because they were so tired of hearing of him. And while I do admire his wisdom and I admire his humor, I do not want to share his fate. So that's why today, I'll keep my words simple, brief, and straight from my heart. There's a beautiful African proverb that says, "It takes a whole village to raise a child." I'm sure most of you have heard of it, if not all of you. As I stand here today, I say that this is true, and I know this truth deeply. None of us made it here alone. We are a product of the love, the discipline, the prayers, the teachings, the sacrifices, and the encouragement from many people here. Our parents gave us our roots. Our teachers gave us our wings. Our mentors gave us direction, and our community surely gave us belonging. Together, they shaped us into who we are today. Now, when I look at my fellow graduates, I don't just see faces. I see stories of resilience, stories of growth, stories of late nights and early mornings. I see stories of stumblings and stories of risings. I see a family of brilliant minds who have been nurtured by countless hands. Even in moments where we tested everyone's patience, and I'm talking about grade 10 red, even Mr. Mfuzi can testify this. We were a class. But now we know that every challenge was a step and every correction came as an act of love. Even though it came as a very, very strongly worded email from the disciplinary committee, we know it was out of love. I can definitely say that we've been given the greatest gift here, the gift of education, the foundation upon which we will build the rest of our lives. Now, it's key to remember that education is not just about knowledge. It's about the values that will guide us. I'm going to give another African proverb that originated from the Zulus. You probably think I'm very wise because I'm giving so many African proverbs, but that's good. Now this proverb says, "The same boiling water that softens the potato also hardens the egg." Now what does this mean below the surface? This means that similar experiences can impact the same people in different ways. It's not the circumstances to determine the outcome of the situation, but rather the individual's inherent nature. Moreover, it's all about the values that you choose to gain from specific setbacks, and not just nagging about the disappointment that comes from it. So today, I proudly stand before you to declare that this is not just our achievement as the graduates. This is your achievement, the parents, the teachers, and everyone who's present here today. Today we stand taller, not just because of our own strength alone, but because we stood on your shoulders. Now, as we step into the future, we carry your love as your foundation and your lessons as our compass, and definitely your sacrifices as the light that leads our way. I stand in awe and I say, it took a whole village to raise us, and we were never alone. Thank you. My name is Nalwimba.
Wow. Thank you so much, Nalwimba Chaka, for that wonderful speech. A lot to reflect on. Even as a teacher, I'm so proud knowing that this graduation is not just about the students, but all our efforts that we put together to ensure that our students are here. So congratulations to the students, the graduates, and congratulations to you, the parents, and indeed congratulations to the teachers. We are still hearing from the graduates. At this point, I wish to invite 𝐇𝐢𝐬𝐿𝐿 to also give us his speech. Please, a big round of applause for 𝐇𝐢𝐬𝐿𝐿 as he makes his speech.
My name is 𝐇𝐢𝐬𝐿𝐿, and what I have here isn't something, let me say, ordinary, but something for your ears. Sorry. I won't waste your time with many words, but I'll ask that you lend me your ears, maybe, just maybe your hearts. Ashford Academy is not like many schools. It is small, compact, Yet within its walls lies a vast space where voices find courage, where the overlooked are seen, where second chances are not just given but lived. Here characters change, futures are rewritten, and hearts are healed. When I first stepped into Ashford, I wasn't rebellious, but perhaps, I was misunderstood. That misunderstanding was the face of my attitude. And attitude often builds walls. Was that teachers cold and pleasant? Was that enemy names like the thrower? But a name is not a destiny, because here I met more than teachers. I met craftsmen of character, architects of perspective, builders of vision. They took the rough stone of who I was and chiseled it with patience. They held a mirror to my life and taught me to see not the boy I had been, but the man I could become. Teachers like, I know he isn't here with us. Personally, I wanted him to be here. The late Mr. 𝐇𝐢𝐬𝐿, so rest in peace. Wisdom, whose wisdom lies beyond his years. Mr. 𝐇𝐢𝐬𝐿, Mr. 𝐶hinyanta. Guides both gentle and firm, my class teachers, both past and present. Whoever gave up on me, and the matron. A quiet strength, a constant reminder that care is also a form of teaching. The unwavering support was the hand that steadied me, the light that showed me the way, the root that kept me grounded when storms tried to bend me. So today, I don't stand here as the misunderstood boy. I don't stand here as the thrower. I stand today as the proof. Second chances bloom into transformation. I stand as the echo of teachers' faith, as the product of patience, as a testimony of grace. I am 𝐇𝐢𝐬𝐿. And this is not just my story. This is Ashford's story. This is what it means to be changed. And whatever Ashford Academy has done for me, I appreciate it. If you want to know Ashford, don't just look at the buildings. Look at the students and look at me. Because I am the evidence, I am the legacy, I am the living proof that Ashford just does not just teach students, but creates stories worth remembering, builds character, and guides students for a better future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, 𝐇𝐢𝐬𝐿. Whew, that was indeed very touching message. Grade 10 read, grade 11 read, and now grade 12 read. What a journey. Congratulations, graduates. At this point in time, I'm going to leave it to the class teacher of grade 12 read, Mr. James Speary.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, our dear parents, the school administration, my fellow teachers, and above all, my beloved grade 12 grade students. Today I stand before you with a full heart, full of joy, but also full of sadness. Joy because we are gathered here to celebrate how far these young men and women have come. Sadness because this celebration also means we are drawing near to a goodbye. Dear grade 12 grade, I still remember the first day I met you. Some of you were shy, some were talkative, and some were full of questions. Over time, I have watched you grow, not only in your knowledge, but also in your character, discipline, and maturity. You have become young adults ready to step into the world. Along the way, you have also written history. We made history by being the first class to go to the 𝐷𝐸𝐻 National Park, where we bonded, learned to adapt with nature, and built strong leadership skills. You also made not only me proud, but the entire school proud by being crowned the ISAS champions in football this year. In addition, you displayed great potential when given an opportunity to lead your younger ones, proving that you were not just learners, but leaders in the making. I want to remind you that graduation is not the end. It is the beginning. As you prepare to write your final exams, remember that this is your chance to show the world the fruit of your hard work. Do not be afraid. You have been trained, guided, and prepared. Trust yourselves and trust in the values you have learned from here. To the parents and guardians, thank you for your sacrifice, encouragement, and love. You stood behind these learners when they were weak, and you cheered for them when they succeeded. Today is also your victory. To my dear students, always remember, life will not always be easy. You will meet challenges, disappointments, and failures. But do not let these moments define you. Stand tall, keep your faith strong, and never give up on your dreams. Grade 12 Red, you are not just my students, you are my children. I'll miss your laughter, your questions, and even your noise. The classroom will not be the same without you. But I'm proud to let you go because I know you are ready for the next chapter of your lives. So, as you walk out of these gates soon, carry with you the lessons, the discipline, the respect, and the courage we have instilled in you. Make us proud wherever you go. Congratulations, my dear students. May your future shine brighter than the stars. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Piri, for that wonderful speech.
Aura. There they go. Those are the boys of grade 12 red class of 25. Please make some noise for them. Please, a big round of applause for the boys. All right, we continue to hear the voice of the graduating students. Officially, allow me to call upon 𝐼𝐿𝐼 to give us the vote of thanks. 𝐼𝐿𝐼, who happens to be our head boy as well. Please, our outgoing head boy. Please, a big round of applause for our outgoing head boy as he makes his way to make his speech.
I hope everyone's having a good time before I begin. Come on, hype, come on. Before I begin, let me acknowledge the presence of our guest of honor, Directing Manager, general manager, academic officer, head teacher, deputy head, our lovely parents, and my fellow graduates. On behalf of the grade 12 class, I stand with honor and privilege to share a vote of thanks on this special day. First and foremost, I would love to express my heartfelt gratitude to the guest of honor gracing us with her presence. She really inspired us with her insights of our experiences and motivated us to strive in all our endeavors. I would also love to thank our teachers for teaching us that character isn't built in comfort, but choosing perseverance over giving up. It was choosing love and hard work over hatred. I would love to also thank the teachers for your unwavering determination, love, and dedication that you showed us throughout our academic journey. I would love to extend my gratitude to the committee that made this lovely function possible. I would also love to thank our guest of honor for attending. Thank you very much. And I would love to share that at Ashford Academy, I view always that this is a place of growth. Ashford will help you be a person that you want to be. The teachers, the environment is a place where one can not only grow spiritually, but also academically. I have enjoyed my journey at Ashford. And finally, to my graduates, when I look at them, I see stories, achievements, late night study sessions while we didn't want to study, stories and troublemakers. We have truly grown from where we're coming from since grade 10. As time went by, we started thinking about the future. Some set goals, some either to win championships, enter prestige colleges. Some were small but are significant. Maybe understanding an assignment, helping a friend with a certain question. We set goals that navigated our journey through stars. To my fellow graduates, let's take today's achievement as a stepping stone to our success. Once again, I thank you everyone for attending this special event, and your presence was truly felt. Thank you.
Thank you so much, 𝐿𝐼𝐿. It's been amazing to see this young man grow up and be the leader that he is. He's really a force at the hostel, the boys' hostel. Once I may struggle to round up the boys, but once I call him, quickly everyone is just gathered, and it's amazing to have him around. So to see him go, it also just, it's quite an emotional moment even for me, even for the community that we have here at Ashford Academy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the highlight of today's celebration, the awarding of certificates to our graduates. At this point in time, I'm going to welcome the high table and, of course, the class teacher of grade 12 Red, Mr. Piri.
The guest of honor, it is truly a rare privilege and an honor that I announce the names of the graduating student today. First on our list, Shoma Malilwe.
Big round of applause for Shoma Malilwe, ladies and gentlemen. Shoma Malilwe, our first graduate. There he goes. Let's encourage him with a big round of applause.
Second on our list, 𝐂𝐢𝐥𝐿𝐼𝐿.
Elegant strides. Welcome, Professor in the making. Please, a big round of applause for 𝐂𝐢𝐿𝐼𝐿. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. These are our future leaders. I know better than to cross them now.
Narimba Chishaka.
This is an academic giant, ladies and gentlemen. No two ways about it. That's nothing but shaka.
Nathan Mupeta.
Big round of applause for Nathan.
Ephraim Willie.
That's our outgoing head boy. Exemplary leadership shown throughout his tenure. Truly a respectable young man. And only hoping for great things in the future. Please, a big round of applause for Ephraim.
Natasha Chinga. Asha Chalavesa.
There he is, Asha Chalavesa. Basketballer, well deserved.
Chiwewe Mwanza.
AKA the thrower, but no longer.
Chumi Lufungulo.
That is Chumi Lufungulo, ladies and gentlemen, aka the supreme leader of Desmond Tutu.
Mark Wineo Simukonda.
Calm and steady. He has the step of a boss.
Ryan Mapalonguira.
Calm and steady. His love for books is second to none.
Daniel Beupengonga.
Yes, please let's give him a big round of applause as he receives his certificate.
Manchele Luke Chama.
This now is a fellow mathematician. Please, a big round of applause for this young man. His future in mathematics is one to look out for.
She Natasha Magitswanga. In absentia, Chileshe Amari.
Please, a big round of applause for Mapalo Lusambo.
In absentia, Matimbaneli Mukosai. Next, we have Bwalia Chilangwa. Makai Jerome Israel Zulu.
There he is. That is Makai Zulu. That is Makai Zulu. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Elizabeth Wamulume.
big round of applause for Elizabeth.
Madali Somwali.
That's our sports captain. He's really exceptional at what he does. Please, a big round of applause for Madali Somwali.
Muguka Geoffrey Tembo.
Also, once upon called a thrower, but no longer. He's a changed man. And great things lie ahead. That's Muguka Tembo. Please, a big round of applause for Muguka Tembo. So proud, so proud. Such a proud moment.
And finally, 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐵𝐿.
Whenever they see him around, aura and aura and aura. A big round of applause for 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐵𝐿. Thank you so much, high table. You may please exit the stage. Please, a big round of applause to the high table as they make their way to their seats.
Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, it has been a wonderful event. Our hearts are filled with joy and gratitude. I'm sure all of us can attest to it, isn't it? At this point in time, we have come to the end of our program. Indeed, it has been a wonderful event. Our hearts are filled with joy and gratitude. I'm sure all of us can attest to it, isn't it? At this point in time, we have come to the end of